Trigger, 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 trigger everywhere. Do you get triggered easily? Or maybe you have been productively working on your self improvement journey, and there are still a little bit of some sort of healing, cleansing traumas which keeps arising in your neuropath. And the reason could be, anyone saying something or doing an act, and it could be triggering you, but it's not really the person, it's you who are yet to heal. This happened with me today, and I think it's my responsibility to discuss it with you people, because you are my soul tribe and my family, and it's very important for me to share my experiences and knowledge which has helped me improvise my life. And if I can touch even one person's heart, mind, and spirit to make a change and a difference, life purpose solved. So I got a little triggered today after a very long time. And if you know me that I have changed the trajectory of my life to a much more meaningful and purposeful life, where I am not the person who I used to be behavior wise or emotion wise. Now I have better balanced emotions and better control over my behavior. It doesn't mean that I was bad. It just meant that I had no purpose. I wasn't well informed or educated on how to follow my path to a much more meaningful life. Now, since I know the better, I try my best to work on it. And only you can change your life for the better. Nobody else can. Yes, people can be your mentors, your friends, your buddy, and help you along the way. But it's only your prerogative to heal from what has been, cutting you, what has been hurting you. So I'll tell you, it was a chat from, I do not wish to go into detail because it's not fair. But it was a chat and I got triggered and I replied very sarcastically, like the old me just rose in me. But I immediately deleted it. The reason I deleted it is because I did not want me to be categorized in that person's narcissistic position, because I do not accept narcissistic abuse, neither will I respond to narcissistic abuse. I did for a split second, and it was fine. I deleted it. It was not fine because I deleted it. It was fine because I did not resist or suppress or control that trigger in me. And that's very important. Look at it at this way. Look at it at this way. If a train has to go from point A to point B, and it is going straight, and you stand in between that, you will be killed. Right? You cannot change the direction of a moving train. But what you can do is wait at the other platform calmingly. However, the wait creates anxiety. But if you suppress, if you resist, then it will come back. It will show back after a couple of hours or a couple of days. It will definitely come back with some other reason, and it will be the cause and commotion of that trigger, which you did not pay attention to either in your body, your mind, or where it was hurting you and how were you feeling at the first place. So my suggestion is that if you feel a rage, you feel that emotion just blasting out of your system, okay, accept that something, someone, somebody's abuse, somebody's opinion, somebody's compliment that you didn't like it because you were dealing with that compliment as a sarcastic comment from that person earlier. Something has caused you to trigger now in the present moment, and it's elevated. However, triggered emotions are a byproduct of something that was not healed in your past. I'm not talking about past life. I'm talking about in your past, in this life. It could be a possibility of inner child trauma. It could be a possibility of parental trauma that you're dealing with, relationship issues, something that you've gone through as an abuse, as yes, as an abuse in your life, and you were not able to deal with it at that point in time. It has been captured in your DNA, and then it starts reciprocating in form of triggers. And also for a lot of us, it does cause PTSD. So what I did was I did two things today after I felt that trigger. Not two, three. I deleted that text message. I accepted where I was feeling it. And there is this one practice that I always do is breath work. It is so amazing to do breath work. A lot of us do use social help. Social help in the way I'm putting it across very nicely, talking about picking up a glass of wine, alcohol, smoking cigarettes, marijuana, all that, to kind of deal with trigger and emotional imbalances. And maybe I used to do that in the past, but I don't do that anymore. I do not go picking up a glass of wine every time I'm triggered, because if that had to be the case, I think I would have been an Alcohol Anonymous right now and not being here sharing wise wisdom and knowledge and cognitive science with you, right? So rather than that, I have changed how I deal with it. Yes, first I accept it, because acceptance is really important. If you don't accept what has caused you pain, you are continuously going to be in that vicious cycle. So after that, I do breath work, wherein you nicely inhale, hold on for 4 seconds, exhale for 4 seconds, wait for 4 seconds, and then go back. But it so happened parallelly, while that whole chat was triggering me, there was also a friend, a friend who's a recent friend, was just saying hello, and generally I would have avoided, but I said, I'm just a little unhappy right now. And the friend said, would you like to share? So you always remember these two things. Whenever there is something that's going on, do not just get hold of people and grab and just do a verbal diarrhea, because it's like you will get catharsis, but you will give your pain to somebody else. However, if there is three ways of active listening always. One is, if somebody is nagging and crying, you just sit with that person and listen to that person nagging and crying. That's active listening without proactively giving advice. Don't do that. It's very rude and bad behavior. Second is, you ask the person, would you like me to share my piece of advice? That is a respectable way of handling somebody else nagging and cripping, especially a friend. And the third is, can we sit and discuss about this to make things better for the situation? So these three things. However, going back to my story of this morning, this friend did ask me what was the reason, and I said, it's okay, I don't want to bother you. But then he insisted, and I said, this is what happened, okay? And what happens is, when you find a friend who's listening to you actively without giving an advice, the meaning of your emotions just changes an entire 360 degree. Because a lot of us, especially at my age, especially nowadays post 25, okay, we already know how to deal with a situation. We just need sometimes somebody to listen to us. And it was so sweet that this person just heard, did not give any advice, did not say anything. Okay, find a friend like that. And that's the second thing that you could do, okay, is talk to a friend about how you are feeling. Not to vent out, not to dump your baggage on that person, but to seek that camaraderie, to seek and understand that there is a sort of emotional catharsis in somebody as well. Breath work really helps a lot, okay? And after this whole situation is over, if you do get an opportunity to really sit back and introspect and understand, because I'm so sure a lot of times triggers in present moments are very, very conducive. They could also be, along with some being conducive, some could also be really not very important to pay attention to. So, it's just that it triggered you. It's like, who moved my cheese? It's like that. Why? You don't even eat cheese. Okay? So, that could be a possibility. So, it's so important to go back and introspect and understand, where is this ego in me coming from, because it's igniting some sort of ego, some sort of pain, some sort of trauma, some sort of persistent behavior of me going in that comfort zone that has caused me pain emotionally. Okay, apart from that, if you need a hug and lots of love, that's here from me. And please feel free to reach out for any sort of help that you want to. I love you. Goodbye.